Assalamu alaikum. We are conducting the session for the professional development program for kids under the self learners. Today we'll be discussing about finances, money. Where do you get the money for your business? How do you start your business? Where does the money come from? It could be classified as internal source or external source. Now, what do we mean by internal sources? Any source of income that you yourself personally generate. It could be your saving, or you could have sold something. You have a car, you sell your car to run your business. You have a house, you sell your house. You have a bank account, you have saving in that bank account. You take that saving out. Or even you can ask for someone to give you a personal loan. There's a difference between a bank loan, an external loan, and a personal loan. A personal loan could be through your relatives, friends, parents, or even someone who could come in as a partner. He will be the internal part of your company, the partner. The money he'll give you will be an internal source of finance. There is one possibility where two people have 50 lakhs each. They invest their 50 lakh each in the business, becomes 1 crore, and they share the profit as 50%, half and half. There's another possibility that Ihtisham has the money, Abbas knows how to do the business. So Ihtisham invests the money, Abbas conducts the business. Again, the profit would be shared equally, 50%. So partnership could be working partnership as well as sleeping partnership. So there were the internal sources of finance. As I said, I'll gloss over these sources because I'll be speaking about the practical approach that you guys would be using. What about external sources? Where can you take money from? Number one, mostly we consider bank loan. Although we consider bank loan as the number one source of external finance, can you get a bank loan? No, you cannot. Okay, you'd say we are not 18 yet. How would we get a bank loan? We cannot open a bank account even. We cannot start a proper registered business because we are not 18. No, this is not the only reason you would not be able to bank loan. Bank gives loan to people, to businesses whom the bank trusts. The bank thinks that the business is going well. Now we can give loan to that business. Number one, you are starting a new business. It would not be very easy for you to secure a loan. Number one. Number two, what are the terms of the loan of from a bank? Why does the bank give someone money? What does it get back? A bank gives you a loan of 1 crore rupees. You will give it back, the 1 crore rupees back to the bank after a year. Why would bank give you 1 crore if it is getting 1 crore back? It is investing 1 crore in your business, and after a year it is getting 1 crore back. Why would it do so? Why will a bank give you money? Because bank wants to earn money on money. So it will not take back 1 crore from you. If you ask for 1 crore from a bank, it will take back 1 crore 20 lakhs. This is the interest rate. A bank that lends money will take back money, the money that it lended as well as the interest money. Now, if you are interested in Islamic ways of doing your business, you will not be able to secure that loan. That loan is not for you. You cannot pay interest. Okay, we'll go to the Islamic banks. Islamic banks are not normally offering loans to businesses because they have not yet found a way through which they could give you money and take back more money. They'll not give you money for free. They'll have to take back more money. But at the moment, giving money and taking back more money, there's no such tool that will help them do it interest free. One bank is has started working on a concept called tawaruq, tariq, tawaruq, and it's a complicated process. But most of the ulemas don't find tawaruq as a premium solution of as an ultimate solution for lending money. They think it's very near the riba or interest thing. Riba or interest are the same thing. Interest is called riba in English. In Arabic, sood in Urdu, riba in Arabic. Okay, so we don't have an option to get bank loan at the moment if you are starting with an Islamic perspective. And even if you are not starting with Islamic perspective, a startup will not be able to secure loan from a bank. It is very difficult unless government has made a bank specifically for startups. For example, government has made a bank for agricultural loans. An agricultural startup will be able to get loan from that bank because it is specifically the bank has been specifically established to give loans to the agricultural setup. But there is no such bank that gives loans to the. Yeah, there is an SME bank, small and medium enterprise bank. SME bank can give you loan again, but it requires lots of paperwork. It is not easy to secure that loan, and then that loan is not that much. It's a small loan. What are other sources? How can you get money from someone else? The Shambai, think about it. Who would invest in your business? It's a new business. Okay, you can say someone because you have such a high level of skill, or your idea of the business is so immaculate, so perfect that some investor might be interested to invest his money in your business. Okay, but it's a slim chance because you have not started any business before, you are not experienced in doing business. So it's a slim chance that any investor will be interested in giving you a loan. But yes, it's a source of external finance investor. In our world, many organizations have seen that a new organization established by some university graduates based on some research that they are doing, sometimes this type of company becomes a $1 billion company. So already $1 billion companies are looking out for such businesses that have a very good idea. They have some research backing that. The people who are doing that are also very sharp in that area and their idea is very good. They might give them that money. This is a new trend where there are conferences arranged and people who want to start a new business, mostly they are done in technology sector. People who are doing that business are starting that business are already technology experts. They are young, they are energetic, they are giving everything, like they are working 18 hours a day, and they have been able to give the idea of the business clearly, and the giants think then that this idea has potential, they will invest in that business. So there are conferences that are arranged where people from around the world come, both investors and people who like to get investment, both come together. They present their ideas. Investors would decide if they would invest or not. This is called asking for seed money. Seed money. Because they have seen that a boy from the university started a company and it became Meta. So there are chances. They study your business, they look at your presentation, they already are all giants in that sector. They know what would work and what would not work. They would see this idea is very good. Idea is very good. The person would not be able to complete it probably without funds. If we invest in that business will be ours. If it flourishes, we'll have another $1 billion. So if they invest 100 million in different seed ventures, and even one out of those would become a $1 billion company, they'll be profitable. It's a profitable venture. Even one out of 100, giving 1 million to every new prospect, but they'll not just plainly give you the money. They'll study your project. They'll first assess if this project is going to become a success or not, and then they'll give you the money. So, for example, Kareem, Kareem ride hailing service. They asked for seed money and they received the money. There was a company called Airlift. It received millions of dollars and it failed because when Airlift started its launched its project, COVID arrived and everything closed. It tried to manage, but it was not able to. It converted from ride hailing to bus service. Airlift for the bus service. Do you remember? It started as a bus service, but there was a ban on buses, traveling on buses. It converted into ride hailing, but people were not moving around that much in COVID. People were working from home, so it was a hard luck for them. They collected like millions of dollars for their business as a startup, and all was funded from abroad. But the business failed, and it was peanuts for people who invested. Even sometimes the seed money is given not as an investment but as a help. This is also possible. You go to the conference, your project is very well defined, you have worked very hard on the project, it is very possible, it is very profitable, but you say my project is a social project, it will benefit the society, I need the money but I'll not give any partnership. And sometimes people give you money. For example, Khan Academy. The person who started Khan Academy had the same plea. He said that I want to do this stuff, but I this would be a social product. I'll not charge for it. It will not earn money like normal money. It will run on investment from rich people who want to give back to the society. So donate us. People donated to Khan Academy, especially Microsoft. It was Bill Gates' pet project. Bill Gates was very impressed by Salman Khan, the owner of Khan Academy, not the actor. And he started making videos just like MSCS videos. And Bill Gates was very impressed. Bill Gates didn't know Urdu, but otherwise I would have also gained some momentum. Okay, come back to the point. Getting seed money, but at your level, you are not experts of whatever you are doing. You are going to learn what you are going to do. So it's not very easy to get seed money for that. Not very easy. The projects that we have selected, they are all those projects that you are going to learn from. You are going to start the project. It might reach success, it might not. So seed money would not be easy. Then, is there any other source of finance? Any other way you can take money? There's a concept called crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing. It's not khairat. For example, there are two types of crowdsourcing. One is pre-sales. One is only funding without any promise. What is pre-sales? For example, I have invented a way of making wallets. It is such a great design that it is revolutionizing the wallet industry, but I have no money. So I've drawn my wallet. I've made one piece of my wallet. I want machinery to start making proper batches of wallets. I go to public. I make a YouTube video. I make a TikTok video. I tell people that I want some money. I only need $2 from you, and you, and you, and you. And if a million people give me $2 each, I'll have $2 million. So there are websites that are made for this purpose. For example, uh, GoFundMe something, GoFundMe or something like that. So you go and open an account in your name. You give your bank account, then that you give that account to the public. Please send money in this account, and people do. And you promise that when I this is the pre-sales. I'll be making that wallet for $2. Send $2. I'll give you a receipt that you have sent me $2. When I start making those wallets, I'll send you your wallet. It's a pre-sales. If your idea is very strong and people like that idea, they might give you that money. For example, there is a very interesting story about Brendan Sanderson, a very good writer, very famous writer of our times. He writes in fiction, fantasy fiction. I've read almost all his work, and he is a very professional writer. He writes a lot. He has so many series at a time going on. Uh, you know about Amazon books? Before Amazon, there were publishing houses. A writer had an idea, he would go to the publishing house, a printing press, a huge printing press. The publishing house would have experts who would read your manuscript, your novel, and they would say it would work or not. You would go to one, you would get rejected. You would go to the second, it would get rejected. You might make some amendments, then you'll go to another. You might get successful, and the publishing house would offer you two ways of printing your novel. One is in partnership, one is buying your manuscript. Okay, we'll buy your manuscript in $0.2 million, and then we'll print it. All the profit will be ours. Or they'll say, we'll have a partnership, we'll sell the novel for $10, and you'll keep 20%, 80% is ours. Because you are a new writer, and the publisher was had offices throughout the world. Your novel would be available in America, all the states of America, in UK, in Germany, and here in Spain and everywhere. So you'll now your novel, if it gets published by us, it will get so much publicity. So it is our risk. We are spending all the money on the novel. We are spending the money on printing, on buying the paper, on making the books. So we'll keep most of the profits. If you are a very successful writer, they'll of course offer you 50% or maybe more. Amazon started a business of ebooks. They had an edge that they didn't need to print on paper, so their cost was less. They started offering authors, come and we'll print your book, and we'll give you 80%, and the price of the book will also be very low, so more people will buy. As we are not printing the book, we'll have less cost. Slowly and gradually, Amazon started gathering most of the authors. And if all the authors were going to Amazon, what would those huge publishing houses be doing? They had their shops in malls throughout the world. Those shops cost a lot in rent, in maintenance, in labor, in salaries, and they were unable to make enough profits to sustain those shops. They started closing the shops. Eventually, they closed their business. Eventually, some of the businesses were bought by Amazon itself. Once Amazon had enough grasp over the market, it started raising its share control. It started raising its share. It said, "Okay, you are an author. We'll offer you 30%." You'd say, "Oh, initially you offered us 70% or 80%. Now we are the only way you could publish. There is no other publisher available. If you want to go to that publisher, he only publishes in South America. That publisher, it only publishes in England. That publisher, it only publishes in Germany. We are worldwide publishers. All other worldwide publishers, many of the worldwide publishers have lost their business. They are not into the business of publishing anymore. So Amazon had such a tight control over publishing business. Brandon Sanderson had an argument with Amazon about the percentage, and he said, "No, I'll not publish with you." They said, "How would you publish? You need a publisher. You need offices everywhere who would put your book in their offices. There are no many publishers remaining." And Brandon Sanderson said, "Okay, I'll go into pre-sales. Pre-sales. Go fund me." He told the public that I am writing a novel. I am not asking for khairat. Buy my novel in advance. It would be $10 per novel. I'll sign the novel myself and send it to you. Buy it in advance. For example, if 1 million people bought that novel, how much he would get? 10 million. $10 million. If 50 million people would buy that novel in advance, he would get $100 million. And he will be able to print it himself. He will be able to even buy a small publishing house, get it printed himself through his own publishing house, and send those novels to their house addresses. He'll no longer need to have shops available in all the countries. He can only easily mail those novels to those. So he started that and he crowdfunded his novel, and it was a very successful venture. He raised millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars through that, because he was a successful and very famous writer. So he had a tussle with Amazon, and eventually I believe they patched up, and the novel was released on Amazon as well. I don't remember exactly, but the case was very interesting, that you could go for crowdsourcing or pre-sales, or even just fund me. I'm not promising any product. Just fund me because my project is very good. I've worked on my project for my whole life. A lot of YouTubers are making very interesting videos, and they're saying that my video is not getting enough views to support my research. When I make a video, my video is so research intensive that I need around $2 million to make one episode. And YouTube ads are not giving me back that much money. And because it's an educational video, I'm not getting 100 million views. I'm getting 1 million or 2 million views. I'm not getting enough money to keep making these educational videos that are valuable for many people. So what I need is support. I need support from public. Promise me you will give me $1 every month, or two, or three, or 10. So there's a way, we they call it Patreon. Through Patreon you can ask people to give you money, and they will commit to Patreon to give that money on monthly basis. And for example, Abbas said, "Your sir is doing a tremendous work. Very nice job. I want to support sir." And he signs up to Patreon and says, "Deduct $1 every month. I'll keep getting $1 from you." And if, for example, 200 people agree to send me $1 each, I'll get $200 every month. Some of the YouTubers or developers are getting lots of money through Patreon. Okay, YouTube itself started such program because YouTube saw everyone is going to Patreon and asking money, and the money is coming through the channel of Patreon. Why not we make our own channel of distribution of that money or receiving that money? So they establish YouTube membership. You can ask your members, you can ask your YouTubers to be a premium member of YouTube, but all the money would not come to you. Some would be shared by YouTube. Patreon is something that delivers all the money that you see from others to your account. No, there are charges. Of course, there are charges. There are always charges. Nothing is free in this world. So these were some of the sources of finances that we discussed. It is a very important concept. Now coming to you. That's done. Theory is done. Let's come to the actual scenario where you are starting an ebook business. You are starting some of the ventures that we discussed. We'll not go into that detail. How would you get the money? One, we'll support you guys. We as an organization have decided to establish these three or four areas. We'll be supporting you guys to establish this business. So one source of finance is us. Out of these three projects, one project is social project, which is making an app of education that would enable learning through online learning like Khan Academy, but for Urdu speaking students. Urdu, Hindi, India and Pakistan, 1.5 billion people. Now it has a social angle. We are planning to go for the seed money, but seed money would not come until we have established something to show others that we have established this. We already have our YouTube account. There are, I think, uh, 11 or 12,000 people subscribed to that channel, and most of the people who are availing our videos are coming through YouTube search rather than just clicking on what's trending. So this is a plan that we are working on. We can be getting seed money. The last thing that we forgot is government funding. Government also funds lots of social projects. For example, if I say this project is for people of interior areas of Pakistan, people of villages of Pakistan, I am starting a project which will support education in the villages of Pakistan. I'll pitch the idea to the government. Government might give me money. I can pitch the idea to United Nations Development Program (UNDP). They might give me money. So these are official government channels. Government channels, NGOs who have money, they might also support. And then there are other multilateral organizations who give money for such projects. For example, you do you know there is a singer named Shehzad Roy. Shehzad Roy is a pop singer of Pakistan. Initially, he was very young when he came into singing, and he was very famous in Pakistani youths in our times, like 20 years back. And he was interested in education. People trusted him. He started his organization, an NGO that does research on education and establishes education for deprived areas. And his organization is pretty big in Pakistan. He has many government schools uh, that he is running, or his organization is running, and they are getting money from many areas, like from government as well as NGOs, as well as from multilateral agencies as well. So this can also be a source of finance. Now this, the sources of finance are done. What is the next step in financing? As I said, initially you are not very much concerned about where you will get the money from. As I said, we'll be funding you guys. But once you have enough traction of that business, if that business starts working, then you will come back and think about it. Because then we'll say, if you want to grow this business, we'll need more money. We need a separate office. We need more facilities to to do this. We need professional designers. We'll need professional marketeers. It's getting bigger. Then we might come back to this point. How would we finance a bigger setup? Okay. In the next class, we'll discuss a few things about recording of your financial transactions. From day one, this is very important. You need to know what you are spending, how much money is being spent, where are you spending the money, what sort of loss you are making, or are you in profit or not. So you need to record all your transactions. How the transactions are recorded is another story. This is the subject called accounting. How do we account for the money that we are spending? How do we keep records? How do we analyze those records? How do we interpret the data? How do we know if we are in a profit or a loss? That's another class. In the next class, we'll be discussing very practical finance, very practical accounting tips for startups. We'll not go into the accounting theory. We'll not be discussing accounting. We'll be discussing practical solutions for startups who could manage their finances and their accounts through some basic tools. Okay, and there will be lots of Excel involved as well, because when you are talking about numbers, automatically Excel comes into action. Even in our organization, in the self learners, we are very easily managing all our accounting activities through Excel. All the accounting activities managed through Excel or Google Sheets, one and the same things. Okay, so here we end our today's class. We'll discuss accounting in the next class. uh, Hope you guys understood what we discussed today. We'll see you tomorrow. Allah Hafiz.